Hi, I'm Daniel, I'm a sleep physician, and if Insomnia, this channel is for you. When our dog has an itch and scratches it and it becomes more infected, we put on a collar. The same thing may be a good strategy if you just can't help Googling, researching, and trying to figure things out. Super excited to have you back here, and I just recorded this podcast episode, and I just realized as I was reading it that one of the people that's contributed a lot here, Dawn, is doing really, really well. I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow, or in the next few days anyway. But I want to share something that I think is going to be a helpful analogy here, something that I thought about this actually weeks ago, and I don't know why I haven't talked about it before, but I guess it kind of crystallized what I want to talk about here today. So imagine this, you have one of our four-legged friends, a dog, and sometimes, as you know, dogs have this kind of like a scab or like a little infection or something like that, and they just can't help themselves. They need to scratch it, to lick it, to kind of bite it, and to get in there. And what happens then is that infection never heals. It's kind of always irritated. In fact, it often becomes worse. And then we have to put those dog collars on. I think there's actually ones that are kind of softer nowadays. I saw when I was Googling that, but anyway, the purpose of the dog collars is make it impossible for the dog to even reach that irritating area right over their body. And then what happens then, when that area is not irritated, not like itched or poked or anything, the infection heals and goes away. Now, what does this got to do with insomnia? Well, what a lot of people do is try to kind of like figure things out, meaning people go on Google and Google like insomnia, things to do. People go on these online chat like Reddit forums and see what other people do, like, oh, what has this person done, what's that person done, and people try to read like research papers and this and that, and that is the same thing as kind of like irritating that scab. I mean, it's the same thing actually. Like the intent is good. The dog is trying to get better by kind of cleaning and etc., paying attention to what's happening in the body. And when you have trouble sleeping, your intent is the same. You want to get past your insomnia by trying to figure out what you're going to do and trying to research. But what happens is the opposite. When you Google it, when you go on Reddit, you go on Facebook groups, you talk to other people about insomnia, it just brings attention to the problem. When you should do the opposite, give it less attention. So what you have to do is kind of putting in your mind, having that, your mind's collar, like try to prevent yourself from going to that place of like researching, try to figure out, I felt there was one more thing I wanted to add there, which was, what I talk about here, I do believe it is really important, particularly early on, to educate yourself, and CBTI resources like CBTI resources like this channel, like Martin Reed's channel, like Say Goodnight to Insomnia, the book that's right here, The Effortless Sleep Method by Sasha Stevens. They're really good resources, but it's more that, particularly in the evening, it's 7, 8, 9 p.m., it's 11, it's midnight, it's 2 a.m., that's when you're really vulnerable and should not, go out there and try to figure it out, And in fact, I think, was this Dawn or was it somebody else? Somebody said they figured out that doing kind of the reading in the morning is the best thing. So particularly avoiding kind of like Googling, researching, etc. in the evening, I think is really helpful. So hope this is helpful to you. And if you have an iPhone and you want direct unlimited access to myself and to a great insomnia curriculum, please check out Bedtime with a Y on the App Store. If you have an Android device and would like to know when the Android version is ready, then please let me know that as well. And anybody has comments, super helpful. Those are super helpful, and emails are super helpful as well. If you have any questions, do email me, daniel@insomniainsight.co, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.